European competition at the top table at the hands of British opposition last term did Servette. They were beaten by Glasgow Rangers in qualifying for the Champions League. They're back out for the second half here, as are Chelsea, looking to make the breakthrough and looking for an improved performance, to be frank, as well, because it was a little flat from the home side, still trying to find their rhythm under new management and at the start of a new campaign. So there was even one player who was warming up particularly more vigorously than anybody else, so maybe it is 10-15 minutes of what we started with. We'll see where we go from there. No changes from Servette by the look of things. So it's going to be Mark Guillou to get the second half underway. Chelsea kicking towards the Matthew Harding stand in the second half here, looking for something positive to take to Switzerland next week. Servette, are they going to try and hold on to what they have? Or do they think that they can pinch a goal to take back home with them? Here's Shield. Too much on that for Mudryk to be able to keep it in play. Finished last season in the team. Benoit Badiashile started the final 7 games of the campaign. He's played in Europe before for Monaco. So Vega got his head to it. Here's Mudryk. Barged off the ball a little too easily. Vitessa, his foot in from Caicedo. That's what he's so good at. And he had his pocket picked straight away by Cognac. He didn't get enough on his pass. I think he was able to find Mudryk and use his pace to get Chelsea over halfway. And get away from Tsunimoto. He's done well, Mudryk, riding the challenges, bringing Pedro Neto into play. Much better from Mykhailo Mudryk. Neto floated in. Too much on that for Dewsbury Hall, though.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, that'll do Mudryk the world of good. It's really good stuff. He's lacked that end product. His final ball's been sloppy on numerous occasions in the first half, so that was fantastic stuff. Recognised that Tsunimoto was able to keep up with him pace-wise or get back into a good defensive position. That little shift and pass, excellent.
Caicedo. To Badiashile. Here's Tosin. Neto's got space right hand side if Chelsea can work it that way. Nkunku. Neto. Trying to whip it in with his left that time. Deflection. He didn't reach the penalty area. This is Maziku. Tessa. Dewsbury Hall, can he pinch this? Quite well done, Rouillet, although Dewsbury Hall's got it now. Just too much from Nkunku, is it? No, goalkeeper got a touch, had to be a penalty. Referee in no doubt. Rash from Jeremy Frick, who raced off his line to try and stop Christopher Nkunku, and the only way he could do it was by bringing him down.
And he's in no doubt, and it's similar to that move in the first half. It's Dewsbury Hall once again the architect, and he's clearly going to get to the ball first, and Frick commits himself completely unnecessarily. He waits for the collision, doesn't he? He knows that the body of the goalkeeper is going to come into his legs, and it looks like a absolute stonewall penalty. Good play from Guillou. Got to say the squeeze from Chelsea there was really good. Went with a few bodies on the far side. Mudryk as well closing. Ball broke favourably for Dewsbury Hall to play that lovely little pass.
Well, Christopher Nkunku has scored a penalty at Stamford Bridge. He scored in the shootout in the Cup against Newcastle here last season. Now he looks to put Chelsea ahead and get his first goal in European competition for the Blues. And he does! Smacked it in! Goalkeeper guessed right. But Christopher Nkunku got the power and the placement, which meant that Frick could only wave at it as it flew past him into the net. Breakthrough early into the second half for Chelsea. Christopher Nkunku makes it Chelsea 1, Servette 0.
Yeah, and he's got quite an interesting technique. He just starts quite centrally, couple of steps to the left, starts his run, and he's got such good technique and quality in that right boot. There's no doubt, really. It's firm, it's accurate, it's a perfect penalty.
Right in the corner. Well, last season was such a disappointment for all of us, but mainly for Christopher Nkunku because of his injury. In Chicago, in the final pre-season game, it wrecked his season. He is the archetypal, he's going to be like a new signing type of player, and he showed his quality there.
Yeah, sometimes you need a little bit of good fortune or a mistake, and that's how it's come. I think the goalkeeper really poor there.
Didn't get so much as a booking and a Frick, and he had no chance with the penalty.
You never really understand it. Goalkeepers come flying out. I think they have to threaten that they're going to do so and just hold back, just be a little bit conservative, especially when the ball's going away from the goal. I know it must be so tempting to come out. You feel it's your domain, you feel like you have to dominate your 18-yard box, but...
Well, Guillou, he's managed to win it back, and he's surely going to put it in for his first Chelsea goal. Maybe second time round. No, Mark Guillou. How about third time lucky? It's the goalkeeper. Oh, he can't believe it. Frick let off the hook, and Guillou can't believe he hasn't scored. Here's Neto. Well, everybody in the ground, including Jeremy Frick, thought that that was going to be 2-0. It really should have been. Frick got back and made the save, but he ought not to have been given a chance to.
Yeah, it's an Elba.
Made the save, but he ought not to have been given a chance to.
Yeah, it's an Elba. Terrible moment from the goalkeeper. And if that doesn't encapsulate Mark Guillou and his performances so far in a Chelsea shirt, in terms of the endeavour, I mean, the closing down, he's done that on 3 or 4 occasions since he's come to the club, and he gets his luck there for his hard work that he deserves, but then he just seemed to lose his composure. I think he wants it so badly. You could tell he just tensed up at the vital moment, and he didn't catch that initial one, and then it's just panic. He's just frantically trying to redeem for that initial poor effort.
Richard goes down. Referee thought about giving a free kick, then changed his mind. Here's Jorgensen. Cool as you like, under pressure from Cognac. Jeremy Frick could learn a thing or two from that. Dewsbury Hall. Nkunku. Space for Dewsbury Hall if he gets his head up here. Maybe he doesn't need him. Here is Dewsbury Hall. The pass came too late. Nkunku's picked it up again, though. That goal has put wind in Chelsea's sail.
Oh, what a waste. Great opportunity. That comes from Dewsbury Hall's initial pass. It just cuts through. So that takes a couple of players out of the game. Here we go. Mark Guillou. It's brilliant. It's great, determined front play. Oh, the gap at the near post is huge for him to find. He just didn't catch it. Didn't get the direction or the purchase on his initial finish. That's the big chance then. They had goalkeeper back, they had defenders covering.
As a striker, how difficult is that to put out your mind until you score?
Well, I think it is, but he made it himself. It's not like it's been put on a plate by a teammate. So it's come from his hard work, his good play. But yeah, he won that first goal. I know he got one against Club America, but competitive action, get up and running.
Chelsea don't want to give Servette any encouragement to get back into the tie. Renato Vega loves that, geeing up the shed end after making the challenge. Ziku. Good shape on the cross, but straight onto the head of Tosin. Now Neto looking to lead the counter charge. Holding off Maziku. Brilliant from Pedro Neto. Equally good tackle from Severin. Undo it. Stevanovic. Here's Gutesa. Shot deflected. Renato Vega had to readjust it really well. Now Mudryk, so quick. Trying to get away from his man. Hughes up there with him, and Kunku too. Crowd roaring on Mykhailo Mudryk here. Chelsea are going to make a change. They're going to make a double change, in fact. Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer both about to join the party. Here's Tsunimoto into Badiashile, and then it bounced off Stevanovic and behind for a goal kick.
Tsunimoto still up the pitch, not back in his right back berth, tracking Mudryk there. That was someone else's job, unfortunately for him. And that one was tricky for Mudryk, moving at such pace. To execute that final ball would have been tough.
Triple change. Pedro Neto the first to give way. Noni Madueke comes on for him. Mark Guiu is also coming off. Everybody getting a really good hand as they give way here. Christopher Nkunku is the other player being withdrawn. And here comes the young player of the year. How about that for an ovation for Palmer?
Well, that's an interesting change. If Palmer's going to play down the middle in place of Guiu, it means that probably not going to squeeze as aggressively without the ball. Not really going to have that threat in behind, but Palmer will provide another link and be really secure in possession. So maybe Enzo Maresca has just seen something. He just wants a little bit more of a platform to build off.
Okay. Here's Fernandez. Sego has kept the captain's armband on despite Fernandez's arrival into the game. Zazie looking for the big switch, didn't get enough on it from Mudryk. Okay. First chance for him to have a run and maybe have a shot as well. Blocked by Maziku. Mudryk. So you'll want more than one goal to take to Switzerland.
Yeah, that's bright from both wide players. Madueke coming in field, looking to bend it left-footed. The pass was on though.
Free kick taken quickly. Fernandez hit the shot. Does he? Fernandez ball in. And we're trying to tee up Dewsbury Hall. Those challenge a bit too aggressive on Maziku.
Yeah, he did really well there, Palmer, getting across the near post and getting hold of the ball for his team. This is a clear foul. I think knows what he's doing there as Servette looked to break, but all of a sudden the two centre-halves of Servette aren't really playing up against anyone. Palmer's going to go really deep when Chelsea have got the ball in possession around about the halfway and make little angles and come into pockets. And there, I think that was probably a product of that higher up the pitch. Centre-halves not marking anyone, not being able to feel anyone. Palmer just arrived on the scene, collected it at the near post and was able to look to build with his Chelsea teammates. So, yeah, it's a different look to this Chelsea team, and I think partially it's looking at players that need minutes, but I think maybe given that it's Palmer rather than Jackson up there at the moment, something that Maresca's looked at and feels that could get them success in the remainder of this game.
Double change for Servette. Ravelli and Stevanovic off. Jeremy Guillemot, who previously played in Barcelona's academy for a little while. And Alexis Antunes are the players who've come on. Madueke. Just over an hour gone. Yeah. Deflection on the cross made it awkward. Tosin did well to get his head to it. Danger not passed yet. Guillemot tried to flick it back toward goal. He managed that, but he didn't manage to trouble Philip Jorgensen.
I've seen a couple of those this evening when the ball gets whipped in and gets that heavy touch at the near post. It turns into a really difficult ball to contend with for Chelsea's defenders. Philip not looking for the little flick goalwards, but unable to get the purchase on it. Chelsea, in the main, really controlling this second half.
Tosin. Here's Enzo Fernandez. Was he fouled there? He's trying to go on. And he asked the question of the referee. And it's Renato Vega who's penalised. right at the start of the show that they have played before, these two teams. Not since 1954, mind you. Ted Drake's Blues went over to Switzerland on FA Cup weekend after they'd been knocked out of the competition. Lost that 1-0. That followed a 2-0 win in 1946. This time it was a competitive meeting. So far it's going Chelsea's way, albeit here comes Servette. Coutessa played it in.
That was a good opportunity. I've no idea why Antunes left that. Maybe he suggested he got a shout there. I think that's on his head. It's a decent ball in. Coutessa swinging it in with his right foot, and that was on for Antunes, the substitute, just ahead or help on its way towards the far post, just ducked underneath it.
Salcedo. Here's Coutessa. So that has come back into the game in the last few minutes. That Chelsea in no rush to get the game going again. This is the moment that mattered. I'm sure Frick is replaying it in his mind. Always wave the finger like that, don't they, goalies, when they make an obvious foul?
I know it's almost, I think, human nature for a goalkeeper when there's a kind of pass like that on the angle and you've got a striker, forward player rushing onto it, to come out and try and smother it. Don't understand it. So I think it was Pepe Reina who was quite good at coming out and just shepherding, wasn't he? Must be something that they talk about and work on. But it just happens so frequently. And in a modern game, in this day and age, you know, you're even getting those awarded if the player leaves the foot in and manufactures the contact. So they can't win, I don't think, especially there. Nkunku's not going to score, is he? All he's going to do is recycle the ball for the team and probably wait to cut it back to a teammate. So at the moment, looking like a costly mistake.
It might be from Badia Shield too. Here's Antunes. Dewsbury Hall. And he's been dispossessed. Still a quarter of this game to go, and then another 90 minutes at least next week. Being planned from the visitors. You see Julian von Moos, who scored a hat-trick in the cup win at the weekend, at the next break in play. Just got a bit sloppy from Chelsea in the last few minutes. Here's Palmer, first chance for him to really get on the ball. So they hit that one for Mudryk, as quick as he is.
Shame. First little bit of link up between Dewsbury Hall and Palmer. Not a difficult pass, expected him to find his target there, or just play it nicely, weighted into the space for Mudryk.
Double substitution actually here from the visitors. And is also coming on. First of all, there it is. Julian von Moos. And Dulin, the two players who've gone off there. Here's Tosin. Just lost a bit of momentum since the changes, actually, Sam.
Yeah, absolutely. Madueke had that one run, didn't he, early? Here he goes again.
All the way. Far too much on that, though.
Yeah, he's been impressive, I think. Left back, Mazuku, one of the toughest tasks, you would suggest. Neto on his debut, and then Madueke, we know how direct he can be, but he's been sharp, he's quick. Fullback, and he's been dogged in his defending.
Palmer. It's an obvious foul on Enzo Fernandez. Severin had the gall to complain about it. Pretty close to a sellout this evening, just under 38,000 in. All of the away end is not full, but there's a seat to be had amongst the home contingent. We might see Nicholas Jackson, Sam, maybe, if Chelsea want to push and get the second goal before too long.
Yeah, well, it gives him that option, having, you know, obviously Palmer playing down the middle at the moment. Palmer can naturally drop into a different role. Dewsbury Hall would probably be the obvious one, would he not? To maybe get a little bit of a rest. And we could easily go and play in his role. Just don't know exactly where these players are, do we, in terms of their overall fitness, whether they're carrying niggles from the summer. Jackson, you would expect, would come right back into the reckoning for the weekend.
And two players over the corner here. In by Palmer, Frick got a glove to it. Skewed back to Palmer, lovely touch. Also got to play down inside the penalty area here. Renato Vega, what's going on anyway?
Good defending. Was bright there, Badiashile. The run was a good one, but he stole the march on his opposite number there and just positioned himself really intelligent. Shepherding it back to the goalkeeper.
This is a poor touch from Badiashile though, straight to Magnon. All the way over to Cognac. Enzo Fernandez, his opposite number, bullies him off the ball. Here's Dewsbury Hall. Caicedo. Enzo Fernandez managed to find Madueke. Now then, chance for a second goal here. Noni Madueke thumps it into the net. Wonderful finish from Madueke, and Chelsea have the second goal that they crave. Noni Madueke makes it Chelsea 2, Servette 0.
Brilliant goal, amazing finish, perfectly weighted from Enzo Fernandez in the build-up. It puts the fullback in real trouble. It's inch perfect, the run, the timing, the pass, it's all exquisite stuff. I think we spoke of this earlier on in the pre-season. He got that goal at Luton on his right foot, and I want him to do this more often. At Kenilworth Road last season, lashed it into exactly that part of the goal, and he can do it. He becomes too predictable if he keeps coming in field, so hopefully that's a sign of things to come. That's a brilliant strike, smashes it into the roof of the net.
That is a bit more breathing space. Feels, it's an obvious thing to say, but it feels a big difference, doesn't it, from 1-0 to 2-0?
Yeah.
Early into the second leg.
Yeah, and the game was stagnating, wasn't it? It was flat. It definitely looked like there was an equaliser on the horizon, but it's nice to get that cushion.
Could get better. Here's Palmer. He's driven it, Cole Palmer. Got everything behind it, but so did Frick.
Yeah, reminiscent of that goal against Manchester United, wasn't it? Just looking to fizz it into the bottom right-hand corner. You're expecting him to bend it. Tries to drill it, but not near enough the corner to seriously trouble Frick.
Is up here, even though Servette are playing on. Here comes Malo Gusto. Axel Disasi done well to last this long, given how little football he has had. Get a breather for the closing stages. And on for his debut in European club football comes Malo Gusto.
It'll be interesting to see how he sets up in this Chelsea formation. So you can go to right back, but with Vega being the one who's been tucking into midfield, that means, you know, Gusto will become a right-sided centre-half on occasions. We've more seen him being the one that's been instructed to go and join in the midfield. Kind of a more orthodox role for him at the weekend against Manchester City, so he's having to be flexible in the way that he sets up.
His first contribution was to give it away, but Enzo Fernandez quickly got it back. There's Dewsbury Hall, really intelligent from him to flick it on first time to Mudryk. Got Palmer, Madueke and Enzo all up in support. Here's Palmer on for Madueke, maybe took it off Fernandez's toe. Madueke, brilliant. Fernandez, Dewsbury Hall, Mudryk can get the shot off.
Yeah, shame initial move, fantastic. I think you're right. I think Madueke took it off Enzo Fernandez when he was better positioned. And Madueke does brilliantly there to win it back. And then you're just hoping that nestles in the far corner. But it's a tired effort, dragged by Mudryk. And Madueke's had a great impact tonight. It feels like he had a brilliant impact at the end of last season. Continued it in pre-season. He's really unfortunate to have not been in the side on Sunday, but he can't be doing any more. He's giving the coach a problem, that's for sure, with the level of his performance and the amount of goals and assists, the impact he's having.
Opportunity here, though, maybe. There's a good ball in the end, and Caicedo was able to get it away. Then the snapshot comes in from Gael Ondua, straight down the throat of Jorgensen.
I can't believe Willem has not opted to take that first time. That's comfortable for Jorgensen. The second opportunity, but that was on for the centre forward to poke goalwards.
That's a horrible pass from Gusto. Here's Guillem not again, and this time Jorgensen does have to make a proper save. And Malo Gusto will go and pat him on the back.
He's not going to turn down that second opportunity to strike. Doesn't catch it flush, but it's accurate. It's going to find the far corner, and it forces Jorgensen into quite a rare save tonight.
Inside the final 10 minutes. Is down and stricken at the moment. He's okay. It's not been total domination from Chelsea. 60% possession, 14 shots rather in total, 7 of them on target. So that, a couple of decent opportunities in the first half, but really, by and large, have never really looked as though they're about to score. Chelsea could have had a couple more goals. That Guiu chance, the standout one. Will come on for the closing stages. Place of the captain for the evening, Moises Caicedo. Lavia, another making his European debut. Well, he's one you'd expect to be playing pretty much every week, isn't he, Caicedo? So he's getting a little bit of a breather now.
Yeah, hopefully that's just a little bit of muscle tightness or maybe a little whack that he suffered in his last little bit of involvement there. Again, another player I thought had a brilliant tail end to last season. Went a little under the radar, but hopefully he's going to continue to improve. And Lavia, I think, one of the standouts in pre-season. We've just not seen him, had we? But from the outset of the US tour and on Sunday. Yeah, one of the brightest sparks, I would say, of Chelsea's early weeks of the season.
Palmer. And the out is being withdrawn here by Servette. Ouattara will come on to take his place. It's an attacking change. Ouattara, a striker, on for the midfielder. Frick, we know he's got a rick in him. And the pressure from Palmer, he managed to get that away. Here's Ouattara, the new man. Gonna fancy a shot here. Oh, and he's hit the crossbar, my goodness me. Tiemoko Ouattara, via a deflection, almost halved the deficit.
Yeah, again, Ouattara's allowed to travel too far here. No one coming out to pressurise the Servette player. And then he gets a deflection and nearly sneaks underneath the crossbar. I mean, that would have been an awful way to concede. Yeah, I think Badeshil's tracked towards a runner there, but there's players back there who could have stepped out and engaged.
And Moose with the corner. Oh, and a free header. Goodness me, that really ought to have been on target and probably a goal. And Chelsea have got away with a couple here. That was a big, big opportunity. And it's one that's not been taken by Gaël Ondua.
Just mistimed it, I think. Doesn't get the forehead clean enough on the ball. And this is by a distance in the end, but another good chance. 2-1 would be a completely different complexion on this tie.
Yeah, away goal's not a thing anymore, as we know, but being within one with the home leg to go will give them real belief. Plus add-ons left. Palmer doing his best to try and unsettle the Servette defence. Renato Vega didn't deal with that. Here they come again. Well, the shot driven in, but it's a long way wide in the end. Just had a little nudge in the back from Vega there, did Von Moos.
Yeah, just losing his footing to a degree. That little shove was important, wasn't it? It was poor play from Vega, dispossessed, but yeah, he was just stumbling and just couldn't wrap his left foot around it.
Really clever use of his body, although his touch was heavy. Ouattara. Shields header didn't get it away. Tsunomoto put his foot in. Still plenty forward here for Servette. Just deflected behind for a corner.
Yeah, good endeavour. Mikhailo Mudryk, it's a little bit of a mess initially, but recovers really well. And Moose unable to deliver from the byline.
So 6 minutes of stoppage time for some reason. Comes the corner, it goes all the way through and it should have gone in. What on earth is going on here? Marking completely non-existent, and somehow Jeremy Gillamnott, who could have had 3 goals in the short time he's been on, was unable to turn that one in.
It's a sitter. Yeah, he sees it. I was going to try and help him out there by saying he saw it late, but I don't think he did. It was an awkward height, just doesn't get a firm enough contact onto the ball. There's a let-off. That's the biggest of the lot.
Gusto. Wanted too long on it, Malo Gusto. Still plenty to put right here for Chelsea. Remember, Servette are well into their season. Chelsea still looking a little undercooked in just game number 2, which is understandable. Going the no-nonsense route with his clearance. The first yellow card of the game. It's gone to Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. Not really complain, can he?
No, possibly not. Certainly caught the right back. Shimamoto.
Clearance from Tosin. Shimamoto. For Ouattara. Good defending from Gusto.
And again now, I think Ouattara just needs to get the fight of the ball there and try and finish first time, whether it's a header or a volley. As it's dropping, it's really difficult when you're moving at that pace with someone putting you under pressure to try and take it down. Goalkeeper's position as well, he's coming out. If you take that early there, it's only a favourite, but it's going to force Jorgensen into action. He's going to have to react quickly and smartly.
Smart over to Dewsbury Hall. Palmer bristled off it. Good challenge, Enzo Fernandez. Put it back from Madueke. And here's Shield. couple of minutes to play now. Gusto's done well to get to that from Renato Vega. Here's Madueke. Gusto's carried on his run. Renato Vega. Woodrick's clipped. Dewsbury Hall. Fine Palmer with the pass.
Probably sums up his night, maybe, Dewsbury Hall. Last minute or so, a lovely pass. Some of his initial approach play's been really good, but in the final third, not always come off for him. He'll get better though. He looks like he's just toiled the last 10 minutes or so, so probably feeling the effects of 80 minutes. He'll get better.
One last chance maybe for Servette. And he is shielding the way. And Moose has looked lively since he's come on. Clever ball, plenty forward here for Servette. Is this the moment for them? Great save, Jorgensen, to deny Guillemot. And that will surely be their last chance gone. But they ought to have scored. There is the final whistle. Well, Chelsea do have a lead to take to Switzerland next week. Goals in the second half from Christopher Nkunku from the penalty spot. And Noni Madueke have given Enzo Maresca his first win as head coach of Chelsea. But Servette will be left to rue missed chances. Sam, last 5-10 minutes there, they should have had a goal, the Swiss side.
Yeah, a few scares, got a little bit sloppy late on. Jorgensen, I think we're really pleased to be involved latterly in the game. He's got himself a clean sheet and he's contributed with a couple of big saves. I think it's probably just about the right result. Wasn't a great performance. Some big pluses, I think. Certainly Tosin came back in and showed he's more than capable of filling in there, no problem at all. Jorgensen, a couple of saves. Madueke, big plus. Coming on, continuing to affect games, and most important thing, comfortable position going into the second leg.
Certainly is. That's in Geneva a week from tonight, but the final score at Stamford Bridge was Chelsea 2, Servette 0. If you were going to give a player of the match, Sam, who would that be to?
So no, maybe Tosin, I think, which is
that calm head, wasn't he? Particularly as the game wore on there, a couple of just sort of no-nonsense clearances.
Yeah, it's maybe quite telling, isn't it? I don't think any of the forward players probably were consistent enough through the night. I'd say Jorgensen didn't have enough to warrant getting in the conversation. So possibly Tosin, yeah. I think out of the back four, he was the one. Least errors. He's combative. He looks like a good organiser. Keeps it simple. So, yeah, I think he's going to be a really good addition. So, yeah, impressed with him this evening once more.
Just before we leave you, we can have a look at some of the best bits from the second half. Architects of their own downfall, really, weren't they? Particularly in Frick's case here.
Yeah, well, I think when it was playing out, we all probably felt together that was a little bit too heavy from Dewsbury Hall. But Nkunku makes it into a good ball. Again, I think the goalkeeper just has to stay. Yeah, listen, he might get an attempt away, Nkunku, but the angle's not going to be great, and he's going to be on his weaker left side. Credit Mark Guiu. Again, that's been a feature of his play. Early sightings we've had of him in a Chelsea shirt. and it's a clear penalty. So thankfully, you know, the goalkeeping came to our aid really with an error, and Nkunku, he's going to be a more than able deputy for Cole Palmer when the opportunity arises to get himself goals from 12 yards. He's a wonderful technician, and this is perfect. You said it. I mean, it's firm and it's right in the corner. Keeper's not going to get a hand on that, let alone keep it out. It's a great spot kick.
Just what was needed as well. Just after half-time, the moans and groans around the stadium when the whistle blew to end the first half, but they turned into cheers that moment from Christopher Nkunku. He could be set for a really good season. Certainly, we hope that that is the case, and that just helped Chelsea relax a little bit into the game. We've been waiting a long time to see the blue balloon. There it is at Stamford Bridge. And hopefully we're going to see that celebration many more times as the campaign rolls on. Better from that point, albeit Servette came into it again, but this was the quality from Madueke to thump it in for 2-0. Just what you wanted him to do, Sam, and there was no argument about the finish.
Yeah, I like, obviously the pass is brilliant. It's measured to perfection, but I love that Madueke's running towards goal. He's trying to get on goal. He's not happy to stay wide and get fed into his feet and be the supplier. He wants to get goals. He knew, I think, that if his timing was good and that touch there is on point, he knows exactly the type of finish that he needs to execute. So we've seen him do it before. I made the comparison to that goal at Kenilworth Road, which I thought was a brilliant finish. And again here, he can do that more often on his weaker side. He doesn't always have to come in field. He's got 2 good feet, and he's in really good form at the moment. So I am optimistic that Madueke can continue to have a great effect like he did back in the last season. The numbers, they must be pretty good for him in terms of the minutes, the assists and the goals that he's been able to get, because the starts have been sporadic. So another good night for him.
And as we said, that second goal, really the cushion that Chelsea were after. You'd be nervous going in it with just a 1-goal advantage next week, but that makes it a different game.
Yeah, I think so. Don't think it changes really the approach or probably the game plan. Go to win the game. You know, Chelsea aren't going to go and play it like they maybe would in the latter stages of a European competition and set up for a draw and such like. So no, I don't think anything will change, but yeah, it just hopefully makes it a more comfortable passage into the knockout phase or the next phase.
Albeit the Chelsea goal led a charmed life after that, didn't it? This was Ouattara, the substitute, with the deflection. There were a couple of efforts near the end that almost resulted in a goal. Yeah,
this needs to be closed down quicker. Yeah, Lavia's not going to get back there, so one of the centre-halves needs to recognise that and get out, take control of the situation, and the deflection really could have led to the consolation goal. And this here again, just a little bit mistimed, doesn't get good purchase on the header. Just, I think it's the right kind of direction. He wants to steer that towards the far post, but it just gets too much on it, unfortunately for them.
And we'll go back to Switzerland with a lot of regrets. I think that was the clearest one, wasn't it, for Guillemot?
Yeah, well, the movement's good. He anticipates when Malo Gusto doesn't really, that they're going to lose the first ball, and he's so well positioned, had to score, and he gets the last opportunity of the game. Guillemot again. And once more, after taking the ball, doesn't find either corner. It lacks a little bit of conviction. Jorgensen's going to be expecting to be worked harder than this, in truth. It's close to him, and he parries it away from danger really well.
All right, that will do it for tonight then. We will be back with the second leg a week from today from Geneva, but for now, from Sam Parkin and myself, Matt Davis-Adams, thanks for your company. It finished